It is the debate Pogba for United versus Pogba for France. I haven't weighed in on that, so I will give you my view in a minute. I think the whole premise of this debate is a little bit silly in the sense that I don't think Pogba has been that bad for Manchester United.
No, I agree. Certainly not this season.
And he's also had fitness issues and whatever. I also think that what tends to happen all the time is, when we say, oh, Pogba for France, we're not talking about Pogba's performances in the Nations League or in a qualifier against Kosovo or whatever. We're talking about the 2018 World Cup, the 2016 Euros, and we're talking about the 90 minutes that we've seen so far.
Yeah.
It's easy to find a stretch of 6 or 7 games
of course,
over the course of a season when Pogba's been really, really good, even for Manchester United. This whole debate gets turned around. What I find interesting for Pogba is, the obvious answer is also he has better players and a better team around him. Maybe not individual qualitatively, but France just simply played more as a team.
Yeah, of course.
Maybe it's because Deschamps has been there longer. Maybe it's a different relationship, whatever it is. But to me, the other thing is the stuff that he gets criticized for at Manchester United is supposedly not tracking back enough or not working hard enough off the ball. Whereas for France, he gets praised for what he does on the ball. Is there anything to read into that?
Yeah, maybe. I think it's the perception. It's always the same, Gab. And I do think that in England, he's always been made the scapegoat often. I mean, I don't want to name Graham Souness, but this is the joke, isn't it? In this country of it's Pogba's fault. Whatever happened to United, it's Pogba's fault. And I think he got enough of that for sure. He was really fed up with it. I think people around him too. I can completely understand why, and we talked about it a lot with him because he felt at some point there was nothing he could do with United that was good enough. Everything he could do was never good enough. Oh, he scored 1 goal. Yeah, but he should have done this and he should have done that. And whether that was pundits on ex-players on television, in the papers, not that I read the papers, but on social media sometimes. And he felt like, I cannot win here. I cannot win here with United fans or pundits or all of that. With France, the perception is so different. Of course, because he's one of the leaders of that team. He will be one of the greatest players we've ever had. There's no doubt. I mean, he's only 28. He could potentially beat the record of the most caps. He can win more than anybody else. So he will be one of the greatest. So there's a very different perception. And I still don't understand why things are so hard for him in England. Whether you're United fans or not, why he's treated so harshly, why the critics are so heavy on him and not on other people, which is, you're right, very different in France.
Well, is there maybe also a case that with United have more fans than anybody else, right?
Yeah.
They I know you can present second place as a success or whatever, but the reality is they haven't won the league since 2013. And the benchmark for United fans, because of their history, because of Sir Alex, is winning the league or winning the Champions League or coming close, and they haven't come close to either.
Yeah. And also you bought him 100 million.
And he costs a lot of money.
And I get that. And he would say that he should do better some games.
But where I was going with this is I kind of feel that almost every United player gets criticism. Like, it's not just Paul. I think there's a general disaffection. Things go wrong for United, right? Aaron Wan-Bissaka can't play. Maguire has a big head and falls over. Lindelof is weird. Luke Shaw's too fat. Fred is terrible.
You're right.
Matic is too slow. Rashford actually generally avoids it, right?
Yeah, the one.
Cavani's just there for the money. Martial is lazy.
You're right.
Bruno's great, but then people like you come out, he doesn't do it in big games.
No, right, which is true, and he only scored penalties. That's not me.
But what I'm saying is, like, when a team hasn't had recent success that the fans really value, everybody, I think, tends to be a bit harsher. On top of that, you're the most expensive guy. There's another factor to this, which is Mino. Mino is not a factor for the way Pogba's viewed in France because he can't transfer to another. He's not going to sign a new contract with France. He's not going to transfer to another country. But we are in this situation now where he has a year left on his deal. I mean, there's a whole bunch of great players around Europe with a year left, from Cristiano to Varane. People are talking about the other ones. Is he going to resign? Is he going to move? What's he going to do? They're not talking about it with Pogba. I kind of feel, I was just thinking about this. It's odd. Here you have the most followed team in England. This is their most expensive player, perhaps, or definitely the most expensive player, one of their highest paid players. There's a year left on his contract. Solskjaer's only ever spoken highly of Paul Pogba, by the way. there's no talk about his contract. It's almost like people don't care what's going to happen. My gut instinct is that given the numbers involved, Pogba is going to stay and see out his contract and leave on a free in a year's time, unless he has a tremendous Euros and somebody goes nuts and
no
offers.
one will come and buy him. So it's either they give him a new deal, and I guess that means a pay rise and whatever.
More money for Mino.
Yeah, or they won't. But I don't think anyone will come and buy him this summer. So he will see it out and then see what he does in a year's time, and we'll have plenty of options. He could still stay. He could leave. Big signing on fee. Big this, big that. More money for Mino. So yeah, it's right. Although he spoke about it, we had a press conference with him, I think maybe on Monday, and the reaction to the piece that we wrote on ESPN about just with his quotes, there was nothing. We have a few sources there telling what the feeling is, but a lot of United fans were like, we can't lose him. A few said like he needs a new deal, which I was a bit surprised. Others said we can't let him go on a free. A lot of them said, well, clearly he's going to go on a free. He's going to just run out the contract, like you just said. So it's really fascinating. There's one other thing, Gab, quickly to finish on Pogba. He had not done a press conference for France for ages until 2018. And that one day in Russia, when the press officer for France said, oh, Paul Pogba is going to be the press conference, we were all like, oh, wow, really? And he came, and it was great for 25 minutes. And even him at the end said, oh, that was good fun. I'll come back. And that, I think that has changed a lot of the perception that we had of him, that he had of us, that I think fans had with him. And certainly Deschamps has felt that after that day, it was a very different Pogba. Almost if like, he felt like almost relieved that actually he faced the media and things went well and there was no bad surprises or bad things. And certainly since that, he feels like his leadership has grown within the team, that his relationship with the media has certainly changed in France. So maybe it's also down to maybe speaking a bit more when with United, whether it's a flash interviews after a game, whether it's an interview to give to a newspaper or television or, whatever. And maybe that could help as well.
I've done 2 one-on-ones with Pogba over the years, but before he moved to United, obviously, because once you move to United, you're generally off limits.
Yeah.
And I have to say, he was incredibly charming, intelligent.
Great.
It was one of those things where, they're like, you have 20 minutes. And then like an hour later, you're still there chit-chatting.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.